All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So, for today, I figured we'd do something a little bit different and actually react to a video. This one's by Saeed TV. I think he's a fantastic YouTuber. I really like his analysis. I think he has a lot of good things to say. Um, but he made a video about Erik Ten Hag, and I was actually going to make a video about Erik Ten Hag. So I figured I might as well react to his video, see what he has to say, and just gain a little bit of a different perspective because I'm obviously not a Man United fan, so I think it would be good to hear from an actual Man United fan on this channel. So let's jump right into it.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We have another video. Make sure you do like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get at least 700 likes. I appreciate everybody supporting the channel lately. And yeah, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and give you another video. And this is regarding Erik Ten Hag. Let me ask you a question, people. Excuse me. Do you believe hand on heart Ten Hag is a great manager? Do you
No,
believe the
absolutely not.
manager really knows how to manage egos, how to manage players? And do you think that's a possible
Absolutely
weakness
not.
in his reign? And I look at Ten Hag and I'm thinking to myself, how many players is he going to fall out with? We've just got the situation now with Martial, yeah. And listen, I want Martial gone in the summer. I think Martial's time is up. I think it's evident to see that Martial will not be getting a new contract. And listen, nobody can deny that. But you have to look at the bigger picture and realize the manager has fallen out with about six players at this football club. The Ronaldo
Six. He's fallen out with six players. That is insane.
situation. We have the De Gea situation. We have the Varane, Casemiro, and now we
He
have
fell
this
out with
Jadon Sancho issue,
Casemiro.
and
What?
now Anthony Martial, a guy who the manager was favouring him last season. I was his guy, people. This is what you got to remember, people. This was his guy, and now we heard reports yesterday. The manager is telling him to train on his own. What people don't realize is this is very, very brutally.
Why? Like, this is the issue with Ten Hag is that he's fallen out with so many players is that now it's almost not surprising. Like again, like Ronaldo, Sancho, De Gea, Martial, Casemiro, apparently Varane. Like now, it's like, well, why is he falling out with Martial? I don't know. It's Ten Hag. That's just how he is. And I think when you get to that point where if you're a manager and you've fallen out with that many players, you just leave the club. You just have to go because I mean, the players don't like you. The fans probably don't like you. The ownership probably doesn't like you. So you just need to leave. Just call it quits.
I would say damaging for Martial in terms of A, not his career, but also B, as a player, if he is or is not fit enough, and whether Ten Hag now is almost kind of basically saying, I'm ostracizing you, I want you to leave, and you need to basically pack your bags and go in January because I basically A, want to replace you, or B, I've been told by the club to basically put this harsh treatment on you. I don't know. But I look at it and I'm like, and we're just hearing from his agent, and his agent has said basically what is said about him is completely false. He was not excluded from the group and has no problem with Erik Ten Hag. He's simply going to undergo a small operation on his abductors, which he should have done a while ago, which is not allowed to be 100%. So he will do it now. This is after reports that came out yesterday that Ten Hag told him to train on his own. Listen, it begs the question, guys.
Oh, yeah. Just train on your own. For what reason? Who knows? Who knows?
Again, we need to have this cold, hard truth. Whether you're Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out, you have to look at this very objectively. Can this manager deal with big egos. We looked at the Ronaldo situation. He said he didn't respect him. That's a big comment to make from a guy who has won it all, who has seen it at the highest level. Whether I think, and I'm doing a lot of revision.
So that's an interesting point to make because when the Ronaldo stuff first happened, I was actually on Ten Hag's side about it. I thought that the way Ronaldo behaved was ridiculous. It was unprofessional. To go on an interview and basically talk about how much you disrespect the manager, I thought that was really, really poor by Ronaldo. And I still don't think that that's an acceptable thing to do. But given what we know now, I think Ronaldo had a point about Ten Hag because he's fallen out again with so many players that at a certain point you have to say this isn't the players. I mean, it might be in some cases, but it's the manager. You know, if you look at Ronaldo, Sancho, De Gea, Martial, Casemiro, Varane, what's the common denominator? It's Ten Hag. Ten Hag is the problem in all of those situations. So I don't think that what Ronaldo did was good or, it should be done, but it's kind of understandable now what he was saying about Ten Hag.
Here as to whether I agreed with him at the time is completely irrelevant to what is now because you got to remember, them issues did not happen after. You got to remember, Sancho, Varane, Casemiro, now Martial, like, De Gea. That's five.
And also for something to happen with Casemiro is really bad because Casemiro was Ten Hag's guy. Ten Hag signed him. Ten Hag spent what 70 million something like that on him. It's a lot of money that he put into Casemiro, and 18 months in, he's fallen out with him. Like that is just, I mean, that's just ridiculous. To spend that kind of money on a guy and then fall out with him 18 months in, like
Things that have happened after David De Gea. So my opinions, therefore, can change over a natural time where at that point I said, Ronaldo, you're out of wrong here. Why are you clashing with the manager? He's in charge. You should listen to him. You have to understand things and make your opinion as you go along, because that's what happens in life. You have your opinion, but you base it on new evidence as it goes along. I looked at it and I'm like, how can the manager fall out with so many players in a short space of time? It's for me, it's very alarming, guys. Like, honestly, when you actually deep the David Hayes situation, yeah, he did not even get a testimonial.
that's
He was meant to
disgraceful.
get a new
That's
contract.
absolutely
The club gave him a
disgraceful.
new contract. Ten Hag vetoed it at the last minute after saying he was part of his plans and he was basically a good guy and basically initiating that David Hayes would probably get a new contract. But then at the last minute, vetoed him not getting a new contract. There,
See, that I find absolutely disgraceful. I mean, again, I was someone that saw that De Gea's time at United was up. I did think that United needed a new goalkeeper, but again, De Gea was a legend of the club. And players like that have been such good servants to the club for so long deserve a proper send off. They don't deserve to be just cast out like that. Like that, I just think was, again, that's just embarrassing to treat one of your greatest ever players like that.
therefore,
It's just in
not doing
bad,
it in a
bad taste for me.
respectful way. That's David De Gea, a legend of the football club. We then move on to Sancho's situation and him publicly calling him out that he's not training well and he's not providing enough performances on the training ground. Then again, damaging what was already a player who was going through a lot of stuff at the time.
All right, so on the Sancho situation, I don't necessarily agree with him here. I think Saeed's a bit. I think this is where you can see that he is a bit emotional about this because obviously he's a Man United fan. I can obviously look at it from a more rational point of view because I have no, emotional attachment to Man United. But the Sancho situation, I just look at it and it's clearly Sancho's problem. I mean, he's had these problems in the past, even at Dortmund. So I don't think that it's all on Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag made it worse by calling him out to the media, but listen, as manager, Ten Hag is well within his rights to drop Sancho, take him out of the team. That's all fair enough. But I just think that he made it worse by calling him out in front of the media, which I don't think a coach should ever do to a player.
saying that in the public eye, and then Jadon Sancho coming out to defend himself by basically saying what he's saying is a lie and I've been made to as a scapegoat. We
See,
then
I
look at
don't
the
agree with
Varane
that. I don't
situation.
think that
He said to
contradicting
a
Ten Hag
guy who
was a
has
good
won it
idea at
all and
all.
seen the whole lot, I'm putting him out of the team because of tactical reasons. Manchester United then ended up losing the game 3-0. You could see Varane coming off the pitch pissed off when Evers was playing again before him and so forth. And then he comes on the pitch for him. Hold on a minute. You're putting me on now when I've been ready and available for so long. And has been less injured this season, more than Luke Shaw, more than Paul Maguire, and more than any other player that everyone believes that he's injury prone. You then look at the situation with Casemiro. He then says, I wanted to play football, to a guy again who has seen it all, playing the highest level. Then there was a bit of a few mumblings going on as to whether Saudi Arabia will be a possibility and Casemiro or whatnot. And there was a feeling that, it weren't happy in the camp with Casemiro.
See, again, that's a disgrace that you fall out with a guy you spent that much money on so soon into his contract. That's disgraceful.
And now the situation here with Martial. And also, there's a few digs at Anthony, by the way. That's his guy as well.
What? He's taking shots at Anthony. Really? That in itself is a sackable offense to me. If you overpay as much for a player as Man United overpaid for Anthony at Ten Hag's request, right? Anthony was Ten Hag's player, and then to have Anthony perform as badly as he has, and then to apparently be taking shots at him now, that for me would be a sackable offense. That's okay. Maybe that's a bit extreme, but that is where you really need to question a manager. Because not only has the club overpaid for a guy, the guy's been awful, but now the manager's having problems with him. It's just childish, I think, at a certain point.
People can say the manager is authoritarian and you know what, we need discipline. But there has to come at a point where you have to question whether a manager has man management credentials. That is a key thing as a manager. But I feel like this guy, Ten Hag, is under pressure. And when you are under pressure, you say some things that you don't really mean, or you say in the heat of the moment. You say things in the heat of the moment. And I look at Ten Hag and I'm like, you need to relax. You need the fans on your side. You need the players on your side. Because at the end of the day, yes, I don't want player power, but understand that these guys are there when you need them the most. You put on Varane in the Bayern Munich game because you needed him there at the most critical time when you said you needed experience. Well, we could have needed that experience halfway through the Champions League if you'd actually played him. But you played him in the last game of the season, or the Champions League, should I say. Bayende is another example as well. Bayende not playing him as well. The man management of that, telling Onana to stay as long as possible when you had a keeper there, Bayende, who was available, red.
That I also think is disgraceful. That Onana went to AFCON late. You know, even like top players like Salah went. I mean, Liverpool are fighting for the league title, and Salah still went. What are United fighting for? What, top eight? And Onana had to stay. Again, that's just disgraceful.
Ready. But again, ostracizing him and not giving him an opportunity. The manager, for me, sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. And Tagliafico came out as well, and he said about Ten Hag's man management, sometimes he doesn't communicate with the players that are on the bench. He doesn't communicate with players that are not getting the game time. And this sounds about right when you actually look at what's going on now. Hannibal, all of a sudden he's a mainstay, he's talking about him, he's eulogizing him. 1 minute, he's gone out the door now, and Ten Hag doesn't want to know about him. He keeps Bellestri at the football club for so long, telling him he can't go on loan, but then doesn't give him the game time, and now still keeps him at the football club. Who knows with Ahmad?
That again is just stupid. To keep a young player at the club, not give him game time, but also not send him on loan. Like again, that's just horrible, horrible decision making. I mean, look at what Arteta did with Saliba. Sent him on loan 3 times, but when he came back, he was one of the best defenders in the league. I don't know if Palestri is gonna get to that level. I don't think he will. Become one of the best wingers in the Premier League. But give him a chance. Let him go. Let him develop. Just see what kind of player he can become. But what Ten Hag is doing is just killing the development of players.
Man, it's another example might happen with Ahmad. Like, I look at the manager, and it's a time now where people have to question the manager's man management skills. Is it up to the standard required at Man United? It's all good and well shouting and barking at players, but when you need to put around them, when you need to say to them, right, hold on a minute, I need a squad morale here. I need to understand what's right for the football club and what's not right. And I can name so many players now that have been under the wrath of Erik Ten Hag. David De Gea, Ronaldo, Casemiro, Varane, Jadon Sancho, and Anthony Martial. How can it be so obvious and glaring that the manager somehow cannot get a tune or a message out of these players? Why? These are the questions we have to ask. Or am
He
I
just isn't
looking
good
at it from
enough.
a point
That's
of
why.
view of because I'm Ten Hag out and I've got these rose tinted glasses that I'm not looking at it objectively? You tell me. But either way, I've just clearly said I want these players gone, by the way. But I'm just questioning them. The manager has got a bit of a pattern growing here. He can't man manage. He cannot man manage, guys. And that is something that we have to address and we have to talk about. I'm sorry, guys. We have to talk about this.
Listen, the only way to address that is to get rid of Ten Hag. I don't think Ten Hag is ever going to be the kind of manager that is good at man management. I don't think he's ever going to be the kind of manager that you can trust to build something around. I don't think he's like Arteta. I don't think he's like Klopp. I don't think he's like Guardiola. I don't even think he's like Pochettino, at Tottenham, where Spurs were able to actually build a project around Pochettino. I just don't think Ten Hag is that. I don't think he's a good enough manager. I don't think he's good enough with players. I don't think he's good enough in the market. I don't think his transfers are particularly inspiring. I just don't think he's the kind of manager that you can rely on to build a team that can really challenge.
So you let me know in the comments below. You let me know if I've waffled throughout this video, and let me know, people, man. It's I think it's something that we have to talk about. We really, really have to talk about. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel,
All right.
and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.
All right. So it was a good video. Like I said, I really like Saeed TV. I think he's got some fantastic takes. I think he's a very smart guy. I think his analysis is good. Um, and I found this video and I wanted to react to it. So there you go. I'm definitely gonna do a follow-up video on Ten Hag because there is a lot of stuff that I want to say that I couldn't in this video. Just it didn't really fit in. But all of that will be coming in the next few days. Obviously, match reaction, all that stuff after the Arsenal game on Saturday. Yeah, just like, comment, subscribe, check out Saeed TV. It's definitely one of my favorite channels, even as an Arsenal fan, I'll say. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.